Welcome into the right side of campus. It is Tuesday, October 8th, 2019. I mean, we're almost in the middle of October. It goes so quick anymore time. But we're here. We're breaking it down. Week 7 college football. Week 6 NFL getting you ready for another week in football. We got all sorts of stories to talk about. We have MLB. We have some college football, buy or sell. It's going to be a fun show today. And, Donnie, I have something for the listeners late on something that they need to get on because I'm a college basketball guy. We all know that. Donnie, we're under a month till the season starts. We're under a month.
It's wild because I follow the big guys in the NBA and they always because we're the same way. And like when we talk about football season, only 3 more weekends till like an NFL game is played. It's a lot of fun because I think you will agree with me. It's an interesting sport. Like the NFL to me and college football gets better as the season goes along. And then you get that nice little like candy where it's like, oh my God, like Duke's playing. Like the one thing that college basketball does really well early in the season is they put titanic matchups up right on the block, knowing they still got 40 games to go. So if they lose that, we're not worried about being number 1 for the whole season in college basketball. You get that nice flavor coming up, and it's a lot of fun where you know as well as I do, Jeff, the tournaments all day long, whether you're leading up to Thanksgiving, you got games on 11 a.m., 2 a.m., or 2 p.m., 3 p.m. It's so much fun, man.
And college basketball sits in a great situation because they don't necessarily have another sport really in the prime. I mean, again, I know people watch the NBA regular season, but like you don't have a sport to really go at your biggest event. So in February and March, the NFL's over, college football is over. MLB hasn't started yet, unless you're a big hockey or basketball fan, but college hoops is king in that time of the year. So yeah, I mean, Donnie, you looking forward? I mean, the season starts earlier and earlier, and that's what's, again, for people like me, it's great. I'm looking forward to it. But we'll get to that at the end of the show. I mean, Donnie, you can't not be excited for like UMass Lowell against UMass. I mean, come on.
I love UMass Lowell, though. They're my schools, man. We're junkies that way. Like I get more excited by a UMass Lowell update on their point guard than I do whether Ohio State's playing anybody in the Big Ten.
I mean, this game is Yale Stony Brook. I mean, come on. I mean, that's an ESPN3 special. By the way, before we get into the show, Donnie, I have to talk to you because I sent you something on Sunday about the Fire Stick. What did I say to you?
Okay, yep. This is
what did I say?
I'm going to preface this. The big man is very impulsive at times, so he gets my opinion on the Fire Stick before he gets one. I said, Jeff, you know what? I used it on Sunday. It works exactly for what I wanted to do. Cool. I'm going to get it. And within about 3 minutes, like what we do the show. 103 pops up, and Jeff, I'm done with it. It's horrible.
Yeah, because it didn't
outrageous.
Work. I couldn't find a fucking website.
I was the same way though, because when I first got it, I'm like, you know what? This thing is so buggy. I'm impatient. I don't feel like doing it. And I spent like another 5 minutes, another 10 minutes. I'm like, I got to do exactly what I want. This is great. And it's so funny the way you come back because now it's like I see you like, live flipping the soccer match. I say exactly because when you asked me first time about it, I was like, Jeff, you're going to be able to watch stuff you never be able to watch before. In 3 minutes, you quit on it.
Listen, I found this thing, this portal. It is a portal into heaven. If heaven exists.
And you don't have to pay for it, right? You're not
paying. No, I do. I paid.
Oh, you do?
But see, Donnie, listen.
Yeah.
Free shit's cool and all, but it's free shit. You don't get the best thing. $20 a month, Donnie, okay?
Yeah.
7,500 channels.
Yeah.
Donnie, literally. If I want to watch,
I'm gonna because I'm right now. All I need it for is just like an NFL game that I bet on Sunday. I just want to watch it full time. No, I know, but I have a lot of other outlets there. But I want to know if it's worth it because I get a kick out of. I bought it for $49 and I don't have to pay anything, and I watch the NFL ticket.
Yeah, but the thing is, here's what's great about this thing. It's a fucking portal. Okay, so you go into this portal. Let's say, Donnie, I want to watch the CBS affiliate in Dubuque.
Yes.
Like, I literally can do that.
Yeah, yes.
So if I'm from Tacoma, Washington, and I want to watch the Fox affiliate, I can do that.
Yes.
I mean, it has all the Sunday ticket, center ice, league pass. Donnie, it's got this thing called 24/7. That's all it says. You know what it is?
What?
It's literally shows 24/7.
Yeah.
So, like, they have a Sopranos one where they literally play the Sopranos.
The channel. It's the only. It's the channel.
Sweet.
Yes. Yeah.
They have The Wire. They have Breaking Bad. Yeah. They have – it's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, awesome. But you got to see this thing. You would love it. Ian Cameron. Shout out to Ian Cameron.
Yeah.
He told me about it. He's the fucking man. Shout out to Ian Cameron. A lot of people in here. Thanks for checking out the show. Please retweet it. It's the greatest way to grow this channel. It's the greatest way to grow the programming here and to keep it going.
Jeff, by the way, because we always like to talk like technology stuff, we use StreamYard in the background. It's crystal clear, as you can see. It sometimes doesn't translate so well to YouTube. But I used to be able to see, like I'm watching the app now. Oh, I see. I'm going to get the answer right now. I assume that I'm watching in the back office. I can see where it says like live. We've been doing it for 5 minutes and 30 seconds. I can't see how many people are watching, but you can see it through that end. Is it true?
I can, but
I can't.
Yeah, it's.
I wish it did.
There are things about StreamYard that are awesome. There's things about it that aren't. But either way, it is what it is, I guess. But all right, Donnie, let's get into the show here. Thanks for checking it out, everybody. As I said, first of all, let's get into some morning headlines here.
Yeah.
We have some great headlines this morning.
We're saving the Pennsylvania one, Jeff, here for the fourth of the headlines because I want to spend some time on that one. Yeah, so pick which one you want to go to first. What do you want to do first?
We could spend time on all of it here. Yeah. That's the great thing about this show. First of all, Rob Gronkowski. I'm going to get this out of the way because I'm actually quite happy about it. Rob Gronkowski is going to be on the Fox pregame show, which I thought he was going to be on Games, and I thought, oh, no, I'm going to have to listen to this dope on Games. Listen, I don't like Rob Gronkowski. Made that very clear. I think he's a buffoon. He's just annoying. The whole, like, I'm a frat boy thing is, like, lame. It was cool, like, the first year he did it, but then he just kept doing it, and it's like, yeah, dude, we get it. You take Molly and Adderall, and you, like, are always, like, hype, and, like, isn't it corny, Donnie, at this point? Like, the whole, like, I'm like a frat boy. Like I'm sick of it. It's like, dude,
but you know what? You know what I think though, Jeff? I think a lot of that plays to his base, as you would say. Like Trump plays to his base, or the Democrats play to his base. Right. I think he dumbs it up quite a bit, and I think you might be surprised at what you get out of Fox with him.
Well, maybe, but here's the thing: I don't watch that anyway, so I don't really care. But Pat McAfee, I think, is a prime example. When I initially heard Pat McAfee was going to be on Games, I was like, well, I don't know about this, like. But then again, I'm like, you know what? I kind of want this because, like, I'm sick of the buttoned up, like, Mike Corey and guys like that are just, like, buttoned up.
Taking a shot at my old guy.
What? Well, I just thought of him right away. Adam Amin, But, like, Pat McAfee plays to his base, but he's, like, he doesn't go too far with it. He, like, I don't know. I relate to him kind of, and that's why I like him. But I don't know. I'm just kind of happy that I don't have to hear Rob Gronkowski, that buffoon, on live Games.
He's going to make a lot of money for doing basically nothing on that show either, because they don't really break games down. There's so many people on there. You get like 30 seconds of talk time for the entire show. So he's good for him stealing money.
No, hey, I mean, that's what you do in your old retired age, right? I mean, you don't necessarily have to do play-by-play, but you just sit there and you talk about, I remember this one time I did this, or By the way, if you're a retired athlete and you go broke, I gotta ask you.
Yeah, what were you preparing for? Like, you can just get a job anywhere, and you played linebacker for 6 years in the NFL. Come on, man, you could do it.
I mean, I remember Donnie Von Hebron, right? Von Hebron played for the Eagles. Okay, and
post game live, Jeff.
Yeah, he couldn't even barely talk. Like. He like when he talked, it was like, what the hell is this?
He used to shout out a like Stockburger Chevy or something like that was his thing, and that's where he made his money at.
And you get money. Like, it's not hard. It's not hard to do shit like that. These guys that go broke, I don't understand what they're doing with themselves. Yeah. And by the way, Donnie, one other thing about that portal.
Yeah.
You can watch every Super Bowl since 1986.
Why only 80? Jeff, what are we, a tout now? Only going back to 8. We're going back to 86.
I'm just saying, like, I watched the 2005 Super Bowl last night. It was sweet. I mean, do you care? Are you going to watch this now that Rob Gronkowski's on?
No, it has no, but like, it's funny, like, because we get caught up a lot in what we hate and don't hate about broadcast. You know what the only thing I want from a broadcaster is just don't overtalk. It's such a simple job to do, because everybody hates everybody. Is there anybody? I absolutely love that broadcast team. You usually have like one, and then you hate 98% of the other telecasts, which are like 1,000 people doing it. So,
yeah, no, I mean, again, he's not moving the needle for me. No. I know Chad and Dawson out there will be watching it. I'm not. Maybe I should use those references. But I'm white. I can use those references. All right, let's move on here. Donnie, listen, we were questionable on if we were going to talk about this or not. But you and I both, we normally just talk about shit. Sometimes we disagree, sometimes we agree. Daryl Morey and this NBA and China thing. Yeah. And I know you probably agree here. And if you don't agree with what I'm about to say, I got to be honest. I don't know what you're doing with yourself, to be real honest with you. From a league that literally, Donnie, is the woke league. We're going to stand for everything social justice. And I'm good with that. You want to stand up for, transgender, whatever you want to do.
Yep.
You're a league. Do what you want. And I'm glad that
you fight for because what the background of it would be is, African-American players, they came up probably hard. Now they're finally getting their shine on. You want to support their causes. You want to be comforting to them. You want to let them, pursue their own dreams, which is awesome. Isn't that the American way? But you're either all in, Jeff, or you're all out.
And that's the thing we've talked about, Donnie. You just talked about kowtowing to your base. And they do that. They understand that the people that are watching NBA are 18 to 40, whether they're in college, whatever, and they mostly kowtow to those ideals. They're mostly liberal thinkers, a lot of the people, and that's just how it goes. But you talk about the NFL. They did it as well. And Jay-Z did it with the whole halftime show. In one aspect, you're vilifying black players for kneeling. Yet
and then you're taking their money.
Yeah, right. It's like, but with the NBA, if you actually are going to side with basically big government, because that's what we're siding with.
No. You're siding with communism and oppression in the fact that you're going to get money from it.
Great point. Yeah. So basically the NBA went in and said to Daryl Morey, you can't do this. And we not only aren't going to let you do it, we're not going to support you. And you also may lose your job because you spoke out against a communist entity in America or abroad.
Yeah.
And we don't like it because it fucks with our interests and it fucks with our country's interests, even though every big company is taking their stuff to China and said, we're going to side with these guys. Keep in mind, do people quite understand what's going on in Hong Kong? If you don't, go check it out.
Yes.
They censor you in China. We couldn't do this in China, Don.
Nope. Twitter is not available in China, by the way.
Why are we kowtowing to this fucking Chinese government? And shame on you, NBA, for fucking selling out. And I'm going to tell you right now, Donnie, this pisses me off because I like the NBA. I still watch it. I'm a fan. I'll go and support it. I'll wear the merchandise. But I'm fucking pissed off that Adam Silver, who is Mr. I'm going to speak up on everything. Get the hell out of here. And then you're telling Donnie, I don't want to hear about Steve Kerr either because the fucking NBA sent out a memo saying, don't talk about this.
Fire memo. Like basically, you better open this up before it explodes in 30 seconds before anybody asks you a question. Because I'm on the same wavelength as you. You can't be like stepping to the toes. Oh, this is fun, and we're gonna take the All-Star game away from North Carolina because a few people have a problem with transgender bathroom. I'm for equality for if you want a job, go out and get it. If you want to make money, go get it. But if you're on a stance, just stay with the stance that you do have. So you get and I talked about it yesterday on Twitter, Jeff, like the breath of fresh air. Adam Silver comes in right away, and unprecedented. We have an owner for the Clippers making racist comments, doing racist things in the past. Within 3 days, he had that dude kicked out of the NBA. We're not going to stand for it. We're going to get an awesome owner in here, which they absolutely got an awesome owner for the Clippers. And that's the way they're going to set the NBA. They're going to be, hey, look, we're not going to censor our guys. You don't just want to fly off the handle and be stupid, but some of these things that these guys are passionate, we're going to back them because we're a free-spirited league. And if it's the right direction, we're going to support our players. It wasn't as if Daryl Morey came out and said I don't know, some death penalty thing or just something ridiculous. All he did was put a simple tweet out basically saying hey, I support these protesters. They're just trying for democracy.
He didn't say something like, hey, we need to stop doing business with China because of the way they treat their people.
Yes.
This is such bullshit. This is unfair. This is pathetic. And shout out to Daryl Morey for standing up for himself because, look, I get shit all the time, Donnie. You fucking liberal piece of shit. I'm not a liberal and I'm not a fucking conservative. I'm for equality. If you're a male or female in this country and you want to make it, you should be able to because I'm able to, and you should be able to also. Are there things that liberals do that I don't agree with? Of course. Are there things that conservatives do that I don't agree with? Of course. Yeah. But again, I'm going to tell you something about this autonomous region type stuff, Donnie, because I'm Albanian, right? Yeah. In Albania, we had an autonomous country called Kosovo. Now, there were the Serbian government basically felt that they owned Kosovo, and they basically said, we're going to go in, we're going to let them, they're not going to be able to do anything. If they don't want to be in our government, we're going to fucking exterminate them.
Yep.
That's what they said, basically. And they went into villages, pillaged them, lit them on fire, and said, if you don't leave, you're going to fucking get a bullet in the head. And you know what happened? Bill Clinton stood up and said, we're not going to let this happen to these people. They deserve better. We have to step in and help Hong Kong. They should be able to live in a democracy where they can do what they want to do.
That's what they want. Because the thing that you always get back to in the beginning is like, the power of the people, rise up. You want democracy. That's what we fought for decades, trying to preserve democracy to go against communism. But the funny thing that steps up is now you're seeing like the walk back of the lines, because you're going against China, and like, imagine if this was in our country, Jeff. We're trying to say, like, if you still lived in the South, and let's just say like there were still Jim Crow laws in Alabama. And you know what Alabama would say is, well, that's a third rail issue. We just don't want to talk about that. That's basically what China is saying. Even the owner of the Brooklyn Nets, with his absurd printout that he put to Twitter, or excuse me, on Facebook, saying like, look, this is something that we hold near and dear to our heart. And, for hundreds and hundreds of years, it's been this way, and we just don't talk about it. Can you imagine if a white NBA owner, if a black NBA owner just said, hey, look, we know, like, there's lynchings going on, but that's third rail. Like, we don't talk about that. It's unbelievable, this silence coming. And if you watched Adam Silver's press conference, which was filmed earlier this morning, obviously with the time difference between the United States and China, Jeff, he could barely get sentenced. He was so scared to say something wrong against China, where he might have been arrested on the spot wherever he was at. It's amazing. And then you're seeing the guys that, have the biggest impact, because there are hundreds of millions of dollars to be made in China, especially to the athletes that always preach on saying, hey, look, the oppressed, we're going to stand up to violence. We're going to make a change here. If they're selling shoes in China, did you see James Harden? I apologize for these comments. This isn't what the Rockets are. Like, are you kidding me?
It is so pathetic. And you know what? Shame on James Harden, because when it benefits James Harden, he's big on social issues. LeBron James, the same way. I'm going to stand up for every fucking thing going on in the world. Yet when it benefits me and I might lose some money, my social fucking justice stuff goes out the fucking window. I don't care about China. Let them fucking pillage their people. Let them have, communist government. It's so fucking pathetic.
Yep. Get back to Steve Kerr, Jeff, that we talked about opening up. This guy is versed on every single thing except the easiest thing to be versed on is communism and oppression, where he can't speak now because you know why, Jeff? On that West Coast, Oracle Arena, in that area, don't you see when at least 10 games a year, I see a Chinese, written jersey that the Golden State Warriors wear, the same way that the Houston Rockets do. It's amazing how much you'll count there. Like, oh my God, like I take my Under Armour gear over there twice in the off season and make so much money. Now we got hands off now.
Listen, and for anyone that wants to come out, I heard people saying, what are you talking about? You have an iPhone that was made in China. You think I want to support that shit? I have to. It is what it is. You think if I could get a fucking iPhone from Brazil, I would? Of course I would. I don't support that shit. How could anybody? We fought fucking countries for this shit. You think I actually want to support it? It's so fucking.
Can you imagine? Like, if you Adam Silver steps to the podium today and goes, you know what? They canceled, like, they're not going to show any streams over here. And I thought about it again, met with the board of governors. We're out of China. We're not playing here again until this changes, until Hong Kong gets its freedom. We're out of here. Do you know the rally and the movement that would have, like, oh my God, the NBA is really on another level. They're so short-sighted saying, there's a couple 100 million people over there. We can't get them upset, regardless if it really hurts where our actual meaning is. They would be champions. But again, people want to sell shoes. People want to make more money, which is their prerogative to do, but you can't be half in. That's all it is.
And whether it's the government, whether it's big companies, you know who fucking has to deal with it at the end of the day, Donnie? You know who gets the short end of the stick?
Yeah.
People like you and me. People in China that have to live in fucking bullshit because their government is so fucking toxic and pathetic that they can give their people free reign to do what they want to do. That's who gets the short end.
Global warming, oppression, all leads in one. And again, there's the people of China are not the problem. It's the regime of China are the problem. Yes.
They just say yes because they're told to. They're scared. Oh, you know what's interesting, Donnie? On one end of the stick, North Korea, right?
Yes.
Okay. We don't like North Korea. The president, we don't like him. We don't support what they do in North Korea. Kim Jong-un is a dictator. But what's the difference from China? We need them, though, remember.
Money.
Sure.
Debt. So, buying up this and that, selling open markets. Yes, it's crazy how much you'll bend your values if you need it financially. And again, a lot of people that say, well, I wouldn't do this. I mean, it would be different if China was saying like, hey, we're going to give you several $1 million to do this show and do this and that. But you can't have a show, or you can't have a league that rallies on like, we're going to be above everything. We're going to lead the way in this cause. And this Adam Silver's press conference, I couldn't even believe watching, because
Really
he didn't have his talking points down. But when you see him on other way, like at the NBA All-Star game with like the State of the League, when you see him, talking about Donald Sterling, he's swift, he's to the point, he's smart, he's in and out, and saying, wow, this league is a breath of fresh air. And they really go back on the tread. Like you talk about the treadmill running forward 10 miles an hour, it's going 20 miles an hour backwards right now.
Really disappointing from him. Really disappointing, because as you said, you come out and, so you support Hong Kong, and we say, you know what? We don't just support Hong Kong. We stand with our guy, because he supports freedom and equality for everybody.
Yeah, and we're going to if he just said like, oh, well, look at his statement, we're rebuking. If Adam Silver goes, well, what was he wrong at? He's making a comment about something. Nope, they can't do it. Like, Jeff, they are shutting down the NBA in China, and the NBA is literally apologizing for Daryl Morey. It'll be interesting to see, because they're hoping that this story blows over, but it's not. They're kicking the NBA out of the country, and the NBA is like, what can we do? Because you see now what's coming across. Yao Ming is like the China Basketball League Association. He runs everything, and he is fuming at the NBA. And you know what they're waiting to do? They're saying, we're going to pull everything off the table. We want you, Adam Silver, to stand up in front of that microphone and tell the world you apologize for those comments, and you won't say those comments again, and you support China. That's what they want. It's amazing to watch.
If you support any of these fucking countries, I don't want to know who you are. Bullshit. Fuck communism. Fuck that bullshit. All right? Don't support that shit. Shame on the NBA for Cowtown because of money. But then again, is it surprising?
Not in the least. It's not in the least. And it's just nobody. It's funny because it really caught fire over like a 1.5 day period where not too many people actually heard about the story. And China was already getting the demolition dynamite sticks out to get after it. Now it's across the channels. We'll see how it plays out here. So an interesting story nonetheless.
Thanks for watching the Right Side of Campus. Appreciate all of you for checking in. If you're on Twitter, do us a favor. Retweet this. There are probably people out there that love the show. They don't even know it's on.
Just don't
We're
know
very organic. We just post it. If you listen, you listen. But thanks for everybody checking out the show. Silver won't do it. He's got no stones.
I thought he did. Like, I thought this was the new wave. I did. Yep. Where's Popovich at? Like, Popovich is all about, freedom of expression around the world. He's silent as hell all of a sudden.
I will say, for the coaches particularly, I don't think they have much they can say. I'm sure it was said, look, if you speak out on this, you will face swift justice from us. Now, the shoe guys, the guys that run these athletes that have interest here, I mean, Steve Kerr doesn't have an interest in China. He doesn't get anything out of that.
No, but the Chinese interest is in the Golden State Warriors. That is West Coast. That is a heavy, because we don't live on the West Coast.
But what I'm saying is
heavy Asian influence out there.
What I'm saying is, I think Steve Kerr has. He's in a bad spot because I guess I don't think he's just going to. He could, if I were him, I would just go on my own and say, look, I'm standing for this shit, whether you like it or not.
Because he stands. The problem is, again, he stands for everything else. If the NBA, 5 years ago said, almost like the NFL does, we're not getting political. We're not weighing in on any subject. If they want to buy our goods, if not, we're not making any public stands. We're going to support like breast cancer because, who's going to be against breast cancer? But outside of that, we're not doing any of that. And I said, all right, that's just the way they operate. But the NBA went down that path saying, we're the greater good of the sporting world. Watch how we lead and act. And now they're getting tarnished over it.
Think if, Donnie, remember those people that sat at those lunch counters in the 60s?
Yes.
Think about if they just said, you know what? I don't know about this. No one's going to agree with us here.
Or if a professional league said, oh, that's a third rail subject. You shouldn't just cross that. We'll talk about the other ones, but this is just a tough one for us. Are you kidding me?
This is how heroes are made. Standing up for something that is going to – there are people that will go to jail for their beliefs.
Yes.
And those are the people that are here.
Same people in Hong Kong and the people at Tiananmen Square, the students uprising. Like it's not about the students uprising because they want to overthrow the government and smoke weed all day and do opium. That's not what this is about. No. This is just common sense.
This is how shit
human
changes,
rights.
man.
Yes.
This is how shit changes. This is how civil rights are given. This is how people are be able to live in freedom. This is how it all starts, by someone standing up and saying, we're not going to let this fucking happen.
Yeah.
And the NBA didn't do that because their fucking business interests got in the way. So don't feed me this bullshit that we're woke and we care about all the social issues. Clearly you don't, because of this fucking bullshit that you're putting on. All right, let's move on here. I think we all are in agreement here. Real pathetic stuff.
Let's get to another pathetic story right off the top.
Well, let's get to another one. And is anyone surprised by this? Anyone? Let's talk about Penn State.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, because Penn State, we all know the bullshit that's happened there over the last 10 years. But for anyone who didn't know, Donnie, yesterday, two Penn State players on Twitter tweeted out a photo of a letter that was typed up on some crappy letterhead that you would have typed up on Microsoft Word. And it was sent in the mail. And it basically said, hey, listen, we are supporters of Penn State. We went there. We love all sports. We're Penn State people. We support them. But we don't agree. And who would allow you to walk out of that house with that hairstyle? And basically saying that the dreadlocks that they had in their hair were damning to the university. And they were, not fit to be football players because they had dreadlocks. You know what? I'm not surprised by this story.
Nope.
I'm also, and I'm going to tell you something, Donnie. This is everything wrong with that certain group of people that I know you know who I'm talking about.
It's like 100. You can go State College, Jeff, and draw like 100-mile circle radius around the school.
Let me tell you who these people are, because I deal with them every day where I live, Donnie.
Yes, you do.
Let me tell you who these people are. They're the people that if you are late taking your trash cans in, you're getting a
citations.
These are the people that, hey, your dog's running in my yard. You better get it out of here. I'm going to shoot it.
Yeah.
They're those people. Or, hey, if I'm like non-white Protestant and I walk in to knock on your door, I'm going to walk up with a shotgun and say, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Those are these people. These are the subhumans of America. These are the people that are in America that make all white people cringe. These are those people. These are those pathetic individuals that they don't get to know people. They're so shut off from the world and how it works that, and you know what, Donnie? We give these people platforms. Why don't we even give a fuck what people like this actually think? I get it. We want to stand up and show what scumbags they are. Why do we even care what these fucks think? You know what Penn State should do? Talk about taking a stand, Donnie.
Yeah.
Revoke those motherfuckers from ever coming on this campus again. I don't want to see them ever in any stadium that we have. I don't give a fuck how much money they give. Rip their fucking tickets out of their hands and say, get the fuck out of here. Go away. We don't want you associated with this university.
I got to tell you something on this, Jeff, because when you said you wanted to talk about it today, because I already knew it was a story, I said, all right, cool. And I actually, because I wrote the headlines this morning, and the headline I wrote in was, hoax at Penn State or not? So I said, well, before I actually send that to Jeff, let me just do a quick Google search, because I saw it yesterday. I read the letter. I'm going to myself, because there's people that like to stir it up, and I'm saying, this has to be a hoax. Not from the players, but somebody just thought they were hilariously funny and sent this fake note, and I'm like, nobody would ever sign their name to this note because they know how they know. And then I found out they did an interview with the guy, and he comes on and he doubles down by saying, well, I don't really mean to be racist at all at this, but I don't want our guys looking like Florida State guys or Miami guys. I'm like, this is a real, and again, it feeds right into, when you think of Penn State people, this is Penn State, right, Jeff? Jay Paterno was put on the board of governors after all that stuff went down with his father. That's how crazy this psycho cult is. It's a different world. As I said, you take the radius around Penn State 100 miles and circle it, and it's like they're rabid fans. It doesn't matter what happens. This guy was dead serious. I support all the athletics. I just think you guys should be trimmed up and have nice hairstyles and not look like Miami or Florida State. And this is a real thing. This is exactly. And I look, I don't want to paint Penn State fans into a corner. But every time something goes wrong, like, yep, that's actually a Penn State fan that said that.
This is also the same guy, Donnie, that if you read it up on him, he's one of these guys that writes editorials about how, like, we should not be teaching kids about Islam in schools. We should not, just –
No, it's Jeff. It's the thing. We always say it together. It's the back in my day, back when I was bookmaking, back when this is how it should be always.
Yeah, well, again, back to the social justice things that people used to deal with in this country. Donnie, in the 60s, we didn't let black people drink out of water fountains.
Yes, or stay at hotels, or they couldn't eat in the same side of a restaurant. Yes.
We also at one point –
times change.
We also at one point came to this country that wasn't ours, pillaged every person that lived here, took the land and said, fuck off, it's our land now.
Yeah.
We don't live like that anymore.
Yeah.
We don't live in the fucking 60s. We don't live in the 20s anymore. I'm sick of these fucking old people that think because it was in their day, this is how it was. We're not in that day anymore.
It literally rang to me, Jeff, like, with the fake ransom notes, like you cut it out of a magazine because you don't want anybody to know it's you and you want to hide from it. This dude literally typed that up and then signed his name like he was doing like the college a favor. Like, look, we're from the old school. We're the old fans here. Like, we think you should like trim up your, dreadlocks and stuff. Can you make it like I told you, Jeff, I saw it and I said, this is completely fake. Nobody. And then I was like, you know what? It's Penn State fans.
Now, Donnie, listen to this guy. Penn State fan Dave Peterson. That's the guy that did this. He also wrote letters to local newspapers about tattoos, babies, and how a page for a newspaper display for kids about Muslim holidays was disrespectful to survivors of 9/11. Right, because everybody that's a fucking Muslim crashes planes into a building. Like, give me a fucking break with this guy. I hate people like this. They're the subhuman scum of this country. Stop giving people like this fucking avenues to talk about shit. Take these people, ship them off to a fucking island in the South Pacific, and fucking drop a bomb on it. That's what we should do to these people. Get them the fuck out of here.
Yeah, again, like I typed it up saying this is going to be a hoax. Me and Jeff are going to argue because we like to argue, like, is this real or not? And I'll take one side, you'll take the other. And I wanted it to be that because I wish there was no interview because I would have played the devil's advocate. Jeff, nobody in their right mind is actually writing this and writing their real name.
Oh, no.
They put some fake name. Me and you would have went back and forth. And it took me 1 30-second Google to be like, oh my God, this is real.
I heard, Donnie, listen to this. I heard a story today. Pat McAfee was talking about it on the show.
Yeah.
Listen, what's so funny?
This guy.
Oh, this guy, yeah. So Pat McAfee says this. He was saying that when he was deciding where to go to college, he was saying that, and this is a story directly that he had, Mike McQueary, of all people, told him that he didn't look like people that go to Penn State and he probably shouldn't go there. Now, keep in mind, Mike McQueary is the same guy, Donnie.
Yeah.
Who saw Jerry Sandusky raping a fucking child and didn't do anything about it
because it might have affected his paycheck.
Right. In fact, he walked away from it. And Mike McQueary, after the fact, is going to tell Pat McAfee, "You're not Penn State enough." Listen, if you support this school, you're another person I don't want to talk to. I don't want to know. I don't want to be a part of your cult.
Like how short-sighted was McQueary? Like if he comes through, tells the tale, puts Sandusky away, he's printing money for the rest of his life because he did the right thing. Oh my God.
Or if he would have beat the fucking living hell out of Sandusky, he'd have been a hero as well. But instead, Donnie, think about that. Mike McQueary actually saw it with his own eyes.
And within a minute's notice, it registered in his brain, oh my God, I'm a coach here. If I tell him I probably won't be a coach here. I don't know if I'll have a job. That's what he thought about. That's actually what he thought about.
Another problem, Donnie, was no one standing up for what's right.
That's not even standing up for what's right. Yes,
it's what we you know what? Mike McQueary's an unknown nobody now, and that's good. He's another one. Send him out to that fucking island as well. Blow it the fuck up and get rid of these fucks. Anyone that thinks like Dave Peterson should be taken to a fucking island and exterminated.
It's a weird
Get him the hell
area,
out of
man.
here.
It's a weird area in the country, man. I guess you got to be from there. I don't know.
And don't associate me because I live in Pennsylvania with these fucks. Because I'm nowhere close. I ain't even close to who they are. Penn State pushes your guys' buttons to the max. Well, I mean, how shouldn't they?
They always give us something.
Everything they do is completely shameful. And you know what? They should stand up and say, right now, these two people, this husband and wife, will never set foot on this campus again. And if they do, we'll arrest them for trespassing. That's what they should do to these people.
Yeah.
All right, Donnie, let's get into last night. Another guy that I want to talk about, Baker Mayfield, taking a lot of shit this morning, Donnie, isn't he?
Yeah, no, it's actually we'll talk a little bit about that game. I put a small wager down before the game. Like, you know what? We talked about it yesterday on the show. I was on the side of the 49ers. I'm like, you know what? They're going to a good coach. They're going to have a good game plan together. I never in my wildest dreams, Jeff, like we did our top 5 yesterday. I would like to readjust that. My God.
Of course. And Donnie, what did I say about the Niners before the season started? I told you they win the NFC West. And let me tell you something about this Niner team, Donnie. Last night, you and I on this show, this exact show, I wanted to go back and rewind it because it was so poignant. What did I say yesterday, Donnie? I said, this offensive line for the Browns was going to get fucking abused. They're not good enough. And they were fucking abused. But you know what, Donnie? I also want to call out that guy on Twitter last night that was pissed off because I talked bad about Baker Mayfield.
What?
And it's not. Yeah, I had a guy last night that basically was sucking on Baker's cock all night and said, big man, it was the offensive line. It wasn't him. Yeah, I know. The fumble, the fumble that he should have threw away, that wasn't his fault. Or the interception where he overthrew someone, that wasn't his fault either. Listen, Donnie, you know why Baker Mayfield gets a lot of shit?
Because he brings it on himself?
Yes, exactly. 100%. Yeah. He wants to be the flag poster. He wants to be the guy that when shit is going good, he's the man.
Yeah, I'm going to show up in camp. I'm going to tell Duke Johnson because he's trying to hold out for his own money. He better get in camp and do his job for me.
He brings it on himself. And you know what, Donnie? I relate because I bring a lot of the shit I do on myself. Yeah. And when people come at me, I got to deal with it. This is how it goes. Just like I just said that Dave Peterson should be exterminated on an island. There's probably someone out there that disagrees with that. I'm going to get shit for it. It's just of how the business works. But at the end of the day, Baker Mayfield is not playing well. And Baker Mayfield needs to be vilified for it. He's not good enough. He's making too many mistakes. And Donnie, other guys can have bad games. They can have bad months. Carson Wentz has bad weeks. It's never magnified because Carson Wentz doesn't put him in those positions. He doesn't come out and say, this guy needs to play better or the play calling's not good enough.
Yeah, but case in point, Carson Wentz in the offseason, Jeff. One guy who was probably like a practice squad guy decided to write a hit piece against Carson Wentz where he wasn't a good leader. You know, Wentz, instead of saying, I'm going to find out who that guy is and he's going to be put away on this football team, because you know what? If one person on this football team doesn't think I'm a good leader, I got to reach out and I got to work on that. Not Baker Mayfield.
No, Baker would have said, fuck that guy. He
ride or die with me.
He's not good enough. Get rid of him. Who's that guy? I want to find out who that is. I do that myself. It's the wrong way to think.
Isn't that the same? Because we brought the same things up with the Cleveland Browns in the offseason. All that talent has to meld together, praising, Dorsey, the GM that wears the same clothes every single day. And he's a savant at bringing in talent. My favorite thing yesterday was, again, Jeff, which me and you share this commonality when we take a look at the Browns. I'm watching in the pregame, right? So I see, Odell Beckham running like three marathons, just with his head, like one-handed catches in the end zone. And of course, the ESPN cameras, he knows they're going to watch him the entire time. So then they come out with the team, as maybe 50 minutes before the game starts to get like a 30-minute, 25-minute workout with the team in. So the camera always follows him. He wears the fully tinted like sunglasses visor, which is illegal in the NFL. You can't wear in the game. He has on like an ensemble of matching gloves and a matching like Allen Iverson shooting arm, like leopard print, which you can't wear during the football game. So then what happens? He comes out in the football game with the clear mask, with the regular armband, the regular gloves, drops his first pass. I'm saying, now this looks like a guy to me, Jeff, that spends half of his week, instead of preparing like the excellent athlete he is, going, you know what? I got to make sure my cleats are right for pregame. I got to make sure my outfit is fresh. The cameras are going to be there. I want to show out pregame for everybody who's going to be taking pictures. Then I'll worry about the game later. Nice. 2 catches, 25 yards. I'll say it
again. Yeah. He's one of the most overrated players in the NFL. He doesn't win. He doesn't do shit for his team. He's not a team guy. He's a me guy. And you know where he will end up, Donnie? I'll call it right now.
Raiders, New England.
No, he won't be in the league. That's what will happen. Because eventually, you know what will start happening? He'll start calling out that fucking quarterback as well. And Freddie Kitchens stinks and his play calling is no good. It's everybody's excuse but his. But people like, you know, Donnie, there are two different players in the NFL, okay? There are guys like, you know, let's say Adam Thielen, right?
Yep.
Voices his concern, has a conversation, everything's good. And you know what happens, Donnie? They throw him the ball, he catches it. He has a huge game. And then there are guys that decide, you know what? I'm going to hold a grudge. I'm good. Fuck that guy.
No,
you don't want to throw it to me?
You're right. Like some elite talented athletes are on a different plane. His crew around him, whoever works around him, like the show is about him. And
he thinks he's Drake.
If you were able to like knock him out and give him like a truth serum, and you said, what's more important to you? The team winning the football game and you playing well, or everything that surrounds your celebrity? Where are you going after the game? Where are you going to be during the week? Dance with a lot of guys at clubs that you like to see and wearing flashy outfits. And I got to make sure I'm straight for this pregame so I look really good, or I wear some funny T-shirts in pregame and, you know, to get interviews. But when the game comes on, the lights come on. He was a good performer in New York. You know why? Number one, the team stunk. They were all losing. And number two, Eli Manning threw him the football every single time. Now he doesn't get it every time. Let's see where all this, you know, pretty flash around him goes.
If I were him, and I have a kid that I know, Donnie, that he was kind of like an acquaintance of mine. He was a friend with a friend that I have that I knew him, didn't know him well, but he owns a clothing company, Donnie, right? Mm-hmm. And this guy's actually doing pretty well. He has like rappers that wear his shit, and like he's doing pretty well with himself. Yeah. He goes to like tropical islands and his fucking models wear his clothes, you know, and that's what Odell Beckham should go do. You create a fucking clothing line, live in Milan, and, you know, travel around on yachts and shit. You got a ton of money. You shouldn't be in the NFL. You clearly, Donnie, he is more concerned with getting to the Milan Fashion Week and, you know, having fun on a boat with Tim's in the middle of the summer before a playoff game. That's what he does. You know, he should. I mean, do we ever see him like during a big game? Have we ever seen him perform at like a really like game-changing level where he wins a game for a team? Has he ever done that?
In a big spot? Yeah, right. Because if correct me if I'm wrong. Remember, everybody remembers that one-handed catch that he had against the Dallas Cowboys. I believe the Giants lost that football game. So nobody remembers that.
Sure, it's like Allen Iverson. He'd score 60 points and they'd lose.
Yeah,
it's like, did you win? It's like I saw Skip Bayless, Donnie, saying that how against the Packers, Carson Wentz threw for 160 yards, and Dak threw for 400 plus yards. So Dak's the better quarterback.
Well, he's always.
That's basically what Skip said.
Yeah.
Now I find Skip funny. I think he's funny at times, but it's like, well, that's because they ran the ball. And at the end of the day, Skip, who won the game? Did your team win or who won? Because that's all that really matters. You didn't mention that they had 200 rushing yards in the game. I don't know. I'm just, weird. But, the Browns lose last night. Bad turnovers. Just overall bad play. Shout out to you if you had the over. It's probably a game that was on the pace to kind of cruise. You know, you have a team that scores 30 points.
Yeah, you feel, Mayfield and Odell. But, come on. This is where you shine, Odell. You're down 30 points. Like, you're supposed to get, hey, I got my 7 for a 90 and a score. And they didn't even show up in that game.
It's a fraud.
By the way, San Francisco, we talk a lot about Cleveland and what they're supposed to do. That was an unbelievable game plan last night. You're talking about a team that's using speed backs in a running game that dominated. I was so impressed with the 49ers, Jeff.
I was thinking last night when they broke off the 80-yard run on the first play.
Yeah.
I've never seen that in the NFL. I've only seen it in college. You just don't see it.
Yeah.
What is that safety doing too? Like, that's your job.
He obviously needs to work on his speed.
Like, dude, he got burned on that play.
Like Breida, Coleman, like they got kids that can fly, man.
Like Breida just said, "Look, I'm just gonna run past you, dog. Like, I know your job's to stop me, but I'm just gonna run past you." That's the safety's job on that play.
Yeah. And you have the angle, and you have the angle. And he's like, I'm going, brother. See ya.
Like he just ran right by that safety.
Like Nick Chubb the week before running by Earl Thomas looked like he runs as fast as I do. I was like, wow, man.
And I'm going to guess, Donnie, you know what? You know who that safety was?
Who?
I'm going to guess it was a backup. And you know where you would have learned that? On the inactive reports.
because no
we don't watch
Greedy and Denzel.
By the way, if you bet the Browns last night, it's almost like you see these situations coming, Donnie.
Everybody loves the Browns. Did you see the Browns hammer? Because with the whole you're trying to find the outer angles, saying we know how much the Browns put into beating the Ravens that week, and then you're going to rested and ready in the NFL when you. Now this really qualifies me. Have a smart play caller and a good coaching staff. The Niners were sitting on this football game, man. But everybody saw, they got it together. Odell, Baker, they got it together last weekend. Wow, blowout city.
Wally George, who wins the AFC North? For me, if I had to pick who wins the AFC North right now, I mean, I'd still probably go Ravens just because I think
if the Ravens could get healthy and be competent, I think I think they can.
I mean, they're just so superior offensively to every other team. I mean, you look at it in that conference or in that division, Donnie.
Yeah.
Out of the four teams, 3 of them have not eclipsed 100 points.
Yeah.
They have 161 points already. Defensively, I think they're on par with the other groups. It's a shame Mason Rudolph got injured because I'd have liked to have seen how they would have.
Yeah, they could have. Now, see, he's probably going to miss maybe 1 week, and it'll be. I don't know if they would have won anyway going out to the Chargers this weekend, but hopefully he's.
No, I'm saying though, if they win that game the other night,
if he doesn't get hurt in the game, yeah.
They're 2-3. They're game back, basically.
Well, if they don't fumble in overtime, they probably win the game anyway.
That's a shame. And that's the injury thing because, I thought he'd been playing pretty well. Their run game started to get going. Their defense is better than the Ravens. Way better.
Yeah, Ravens have been really struggling. Yeah, they lose Samuels now for a couple weeks, I think, with a knee injury. So they're a little bit banged up on offense now. Let's,
Donnie, kind of move on to some quick looks in the NFL. Big question out of New York today.
Yes.
You got to give – I hate New York. I hate the Giants, but you almost got to feel sorry for at least over the last – did you see that injury report? Who's going to play? And another thing, Donnie, you know what? It's gripe day for me. Do the fucking Patriots get everything? I mean, it's so fucking amazing. Everything that this team does turns up the right way.
Me and you rail on it all the time. And actually, I had one of my good friends, we'll text a couple of times during the Eagles game, and we're talking Eagles, and out of nowhere, he goes, do you get that the New England gets these guys twice a year?
Yeah.
They get the Dolphins twice a year. And I'm saying, it's like if we had relegation, like in the English Premier League, where they're really good, so they actually have to play competent opponents. Now look, they're a really good football team, but when you don't get pressed to the limit every single week, like the majority of football teams, boy, is that an advantage for you. And they played on it, man.
In our lifetime, Donnie, I mean this, there I think is going to be created, and the XFL could be it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The XFL would have to kowtow to the rules, and with Oliver Luck leading the charge, I could see it. The NFL is the only league in the country that does not have a minor league system. They don't have a competent minor league system. There should be a league set up like the XFL that basically we create a relegation system where the 3 teams go down. If they don't play well, they're going down. Yeah. And you know what the Premier League does, Donnie? You know what happens when you go down?
You lose cash.
A ton of money.
Yeah.
And when you come up, you gain a ton of money.
Yes.
That's why that game to end the year where you have 2 teams, one goes up and one goes down. That's why that game's so important. Because you literally make like $300 million.
Because you get the TV check if you make it to the big league.
Right.
Yes.
So the NFL should do that. There should be a league set up like the XFL where you have smaller markets, like the Harrisburg Hawkeyes, and you have the Virginia Valiant.
Yep, and they go down and they play on Saturday night. They're still playing the fall
100%.
because you wouldn't be able to have an off-season football. They play on Saturday night with their own league, and hey, good luck if you can make it.
And it's all smaller markets: Tacoma, Reno, Birmingham, Memphis.
Yes.
Des Moines. Those guys, and those teams have, and it's like the championship in England where the stadiums are a bit smaller.
Mm-hmm.
They're not huge, but they have concessions. They have merchandise. They have everything, and it's a well-run league that is basically they have the opportunity to come up if they play really well. That's what they should do in the NFL. I don't know why they don't do that.
You actually, Jeff, probably wouldn't even have to do that. You know what you could do? You say all right, if you're the bottom 3 in the NFL, or let's just say the bottom 4, they're not even trying to compete. You say, you know what? you don't get any TV money this year. Like, leave them in the NFL, but make the ownership say, you know what? You don't see this $7.5 billion check we all split up. You bottom four, you don't get it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
like, you don't have to relegate them. They can still be in the NFL.
Now, let me
Think of
ask
how
you,
much they would change.
Would you be in agreement of getting rid of, like, you know how there's divisions and stuff?
No, I like the divisions.
But see, listen, hear me out, though.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cooler if you got rid of the divisions and conferences? You just had every team is vying for like
8 playoff spots.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. And every win you get 3 points. Every loss you get no points.
No, that could be done. I like it just for the regionality.
And Donnie, here's the thing:
those,
if you cover the number as the winning team, you get 5 points. That'd be sweet.
Right. You know who wouldn't like that though? You know who wouldn't do that? Jera. You know what? Like the whole fallacy also in the NFL with the Cowboys. The Cowboys are in the NFC East and they play in Dallas. Yeah, congratulations on that.
Jera Jones.
Yeah, we need them big markets up north so we can exploit that along with Texas. The NFL got run over roughshod by the Cowboys. Well, we were the first to play on Thanksgiving. Now we play every year and have this advantage. Come on, man. Don't even get me started.
Yeah, we won't get you started on that because we know. Yeah, but either way, there needs to be an NFL like farm league, and like if you don't play well, you get sent down. Relegation is great. They should do it in every league.
All right, let's keep moving here quick, Jeff. We're going to skip over a couple things. We'll take a look at some NFL stuff a little bit later in the week, but I wanted to do buy or sell college football edition with Jeff to get some things. So I got 4 things picked out for him here. Some topics that, we're not going to go, buy or sell will Temple, win a couple. No, we're going to do some good stuff here.
By the way, with college football, this card this week,
yeah,
I killed it last week. I like this card this week, man. I do. I'm interested. Hit me with them. What do we got?
First one. Now, we hear this a lot, and the reason I'm bringing this up here is like Lincoln Riley comes out and says, even if the Redskins job was open, I ain't going to the Redskins no matter what, even if I wanted to go to the NFL. So playing off of that, does Lincoln Riley, is this his last year in Norman, Oklahoma?
No. Why would it be? Donnie,
what happens if he gets $10 million? What happens if John Gruden got $10 million?
Donnie, do you know how much Lincoln Riley makes a year?
Probably like $5 million.
$6 million a year.
What happens if they take it to 10?
We're talking about. Is 6 a lot more than 10?
Yes,
to make a lot of money.
Look at what John Gruden signed a 10-year, $100 million contract. If he gets fired in 1 year, he gets $90 million.
Hear me out though. At Oklahoma, he does whatever he wants. Doesn't have to deal with those fucking egos. It's his thing. He's the best of the best. It's like Jay Wright. People talk about Jay Wright all the time. Why doesn't Jay Wright go to the NBA? He'd make so much more money. Because he's the king. He's the king of Villanova. He lives at home. He never has to leave. He gets to do what he wants to do. And I'm going to still say this, Donnie. The only way Jay Wright will go to the NBA is if he coached the Sixers. And I think in the next 5 years, he will coach the Sixers. Because eventually Brett Brown will fail, because that's what he will do. Brett Brown's a failure, and he's not a good coach. He'll fail, and they'll throw the book at Jay Wright. He shouldn't go to the NFL. Why would he?
But no, he would. He wouldn't fall flat on his face. He would get put a ton of money in his face, and we'll see how good a coach
Donnie,
he is.
He's still going to be on a bad team.
But it's about striking when your iron is never going to be hotter. He did it. What a miracle where he takes 2 straight guys to a Heisman, maybe a third in a row. Maybe he doesn't get that guy next year. He can basically write the check for the rest of his life. And it comes back to this, Jeff. If he goes to the NFL and he flames out in 3 years, he'll probably make $70 million on that contract, and he goes right back to college.
Right, but I also think there are people that just have principles. They have they have a fine life and they're good with it. Look at Dabo Swinney. Why would you ever leave Clemson? You get the best players. Your team's always good. You don't have to deal with bullshit.
Yeah, but
you don't have to deal.
You're right.
You don't have to deal with the fucking NFL
because Krzyzewski did the same thing. But some people just have that when you're competitive nature. I want to do it at the highest level, improve. Like I'm just not some system coach in college football. But the upside of it is it's all guaranteed money. Like if Dan Snyder is a moron, let's just say, and he goes, all right, I'm going to match John Gruden's contract. Lincoln Riley, 10 years, $100 million. It's fully guaranteed. So if he coaches 3 years and gets fired, he already made 30, and they're going to put a check for $70 million in his pocket.
But here's the thing, though. Let's say he goes to the NFL and it lasts 2-3 years.
Yeah.
He makes his salary. Let's say it's let's say $20 million. He makes $8 million.
And you don't have to. The hardest thing to do in college is recruit. You don't have to do that in pros.
He ain't getting $10 million.
I don't know.
$6 million to coach 12 games a year. You have no bullshit to deal with.
What? You got to recruit 20. You got to watch 90 kids being boneheads 24/7 and recruit another set of 90 boneheads.
I don't think at that level of the college rank, I don't know that you're dealing with a ton of shit like that. At least if you run your ship the right way. Bob
at the end of this, like the Dallas Cowboys go up in flames. Jerry Jones goes, I got more money than God. You can coach right here for the Dallas Cowboys at $10 million a year. That's hard to pass up.
But Donnie, I mean, you know about my personal life. I had the opportunity to
I know. No, look, and again, you're right.
I'm going to look at like everything.
People are wired differently, yes. Maybe he says, you know what, this is the greatest town. Like, I'm always going to have a job here. I love these people, and I love working with – look, that's what Krzyzewski did.
And that's for me where I say –
signed, sealed, and delivered to go to the NBA to coach the Lakers, and at the last minute backed out because you know what? He's like, you know what? I love it here at Duke.
And that's why for me, Donnie, if you say to me, you can either have $8 million and work in a really hard environment where there's like shitty ownership and you got to work for the NFL and these diva guys, or you can make $6 million and have a great life, I'm probably going to take the $6 million. I know some people are greedy and want the 2, but as Donnie, they said, how many yachts can you water ski by?
Yeah, you're right.
Greed is not always good.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I for $15 million a year wouldn't work for the fucking Redskins.
Yes, you would.
No, well, maybe I would, but I'm also not an NFL coach.
Yeah, if other companies out here like blank check, you'd be like, you know what? Even though I don't agree with it, I'm going to take it.
No, but we talked about principles early in the. I'm going to tell you right now, if the Trump campaign gave me $10 million, I wouldn't work there.
Yeah, you would. You would be vice president.
They aren't my principles. I don't agree with it. What else do we got?
All right, keep it going. This is a good one here. Now, I looked ahead, so it's a little bit of cheating here. It sounds like it's going to be a tough question for you, Jeff. Does Rutgers win one more football game this season?
Yeah, I think they do. I actually am okay with their path. I think they'll beat Indiana.
But they have Liberty at home as one game as well.
Which I think we can come to the realization, Donnie, Liberty's offense is not good. I know we act like it is.
We want to sit back and we want to reminisce on what they have. And it's the same people. Wait, is it Hugh Freeze? Is that what it is?
I think it's just the tempo. It's really
Hugh
slow.
Freeze just messed it all up on us in 1 year. Jesus.
Which you thought it'd go kind of the other way.
Yes,
right?
you thought it would be like, hey, get another eye. No, maybe.
Listen, they have 3 opportunities. Okay, they got Indiana this week. They have Liberty at home, which is very winnable. In Illinois, if Illinois doesn't have Brandon Peters, they could win there. I actually like the quarterback. I like Johnny Langan. I think he's a good quarterback, and I think they can find a way. But yeah, I mean, it sucks you lose Blackshear.
All right, 2 more questions here for you, Jeff. I saw this and I had to put it in buy or sell because it was an exact quote from one Jim Harbaugh. Michigan offense close to hitting its stride.
Oh, yeah. We've been hearing that for like, 6 years. So do I sell that? Of course I sell
buy or
it.
sell,
How could I buy it? I mean.
You don't think they're close?
No. It seems like you have training wheels on Josh Gaddis now. And it's like, hey, look, you're the offensive coordinator, but you know what?
But you're going to listen to me.
Why don't you run everything by me first?
Hey, coach, I want to pay. Now, you know what? You're going to run up the middle here. Thanks, coach.
Yeah, it's like you get a new job and that like shitty dickhead comes in the office and goes, hey, listen, before you go to the CEO about these ideas, why don't you run them by me first?
Yeah. And then he takes credit for it.
I'll take credit. Right.
The new guy made it up. Oh, damn it.
Right. Listen, if their offense gets going, it's not his fault. It's fucking Josh Gaddis who made the offense go. But I got to tell you, I'm really disappointed in Shea Patterson. I think that he's holding them back.
Yeah, you thought it would have been much better. Like they finally got their athletic quarterback who could sling it.
Because Shea Patterson's never had a leader. He had to deal with Hugh Freeze. And then, it's just like, I don't know. But, hey, by the way, speaking of bad teams, talk about Rutgers. You know another bad team?
Who?
Vandy.
Yeah, I haven't paid
They are horrible, dude. They are really bad. I was watching last night. They lost to Mississippi by 24.
Jeff, but the SEC needs that Nashville market and their GPA.
Yeah, well, they do to kind of balance out things because they are smart. But Donnie, you know who the quarterback of Vandy is?
I do not.
Riley Neal. You remember?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, MAC transfer. Yes.
Which you'd have to think like he. But then again,
sling it. But
he slings it in the MAC. But against SEC defenses, it's not going to be as easy.
All right, last one here, Jeff. This is an interesting one. A look ahead for us. It's a buy or sell. Not necessarily winning the game, Jeff, but LSU at FanDuel currently right here in New Jersey is sitting at +10 on November 9th versus Alabama. Buy or sell LSU gets the cover in that football game?
Yeah, I think they get the cover for sure. I mean, Alabama hasn't played anybody yet. I mean, I'm excited about that game because that's going to be the first time I think Alabama is really going to play a real football team, a real offense that can move the football down the field.
There's no total after that football game. I wonder what it is because when we talked on the show last week, we did the college football mega pod on last Wednesday. 73 was the touch. I said, oh my God. Now they didn't even come close to that 73. What is that over under probably going to be in that Bama game? It's got to be extremely high, right?
Probably 60s? 69.
Yes.
70.
Wow. Gee, it's amazing. That game usually is leveled at like 42 over the past couple of years.
Big offenses, Donnie. Yes. Big play, quarterbacks and offenses. It's impressive. But all right, Donnie, before we go, good buy or sell there, as always. A quick baseball talk. Verlander. -2. I mean, does anybody care about this game? Seriously,
I don't, Jeff. There was
unless you live in Houston.
There were 4 playoff games yesterday. When let's just get them to a game 5. And I tried to watch. I even got bored. The Atlanta game was a close game. I'm saying to myself, I have no interest. I have first of all, no wager. Didn't even have the feeling to cap the game. So I'm why would I even care win or lose in this game? And then you're right. We're saying, can Verlander hold off? And look at this game going, it's like -250. Does anybody care about this stuff still?
You know what people doing? They're throwing these in parlays. I saw a lot of Yankees Browns parlays last night.
Oh God!
To try to even it out, but
it's a good one. Yeah.
Too bad you didn't get that one. What else do we have here? Let's wrap the show up, Donnie. We've been on long enough.
Yeah, there's a couple topics we'll save for tomorrow. We'll load up.
Yeah, sounds good. Tomorrow we have Fun Belt. UL Lafayette, App State. What a great game to kick off Fun Belt. That's a really good game.
Most people are like, those 2 teams stink. No.
No, those 2 teams are legit, man.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, we're wrapping up the show. Before we go, I got a soccer play for all of you guys. This is a non-league. Okay, non-league there are 4 leagues: Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2. This is basically 5th league. It's non-league. It's called the National League. I'm going to take Halifax to beat Chorley.
Canada?
Chorley. No, England. By the way, for anyone that wonders about Halifax, Donnie, you know who Jamie Vardy is, right?
Yes, I do.
He actually got his start at Halifax Town when he was a young lad. That was the first team he played on, Halifax Town. Halifax is really good. They're scoring a ton of goals. They're one of the best teams in this league. In fact, they are the best team in this league. Chorley has had major issues. They can't score. They only have 11 goals in 15 games. Take Halifax. They're going to beat Chorley Town at home. Take Halifax to beat Chorley in the National League. Everyone have a great night. Thanks for watching. Donnie, you have a great day, my man. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see all of you tomorrow. Same time, same place. The show won't be as, I think, crazy as it was today, but you never know. The NBA is bound to do something stupid. So
yes.
I'm sure they will.
There's going to be a press conference we're going to be able to talk about tomorrow. So
by the way, speaking of NBA, Donnie, quickly, the Sixers play a Chinese league team tonight. What are you excited about the game?
Yeah, we're going to break it down. Matthias Thibault. Yeah, sure.
I'm interested. I'm interested in watching the Sixers, the new look Sixers. All right, everyone have a great night. Thanks for checking out the show. We'll see you tomorrow.